Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Nigma versus Nartis Vincier. I don't know how you properly pronounce it with any sort of accent, so. But that's why I just call him Navi generally. I'll stick to that in the future. Anyway, so Nigma versus Navi this game. It should be a pretty exciting one to watch. We'll see if Nigma's going to start getting back into full form now that Croaky's back on the roster, and whether if they're going to really start becoming a super dominant force once again, or if Navi is just going to keep crushing them into the ground. We'll have to wait and see how this game turns out, but it's going super quick already. All the bans have been done, and Nigma are going to lead up with the Lina as their first pickup. So that's most likely going to be for GH in the position 4. But Lina's one of those heroes where it's very flexible. Can go in a whole myriad of roles, so we'll see where they're potentially thinking about putting it. So many different roles that it could go into. Navi, they grabbed the Omni Knight. I mean, we've seen Nigma and we've seen Secret start picking this hero up again and put it into that position 5 role and using it to really great effect. So it looks like Navi are following suit. They're picking up on this trend and they're going to do it themselves. This potentially could have just been a pickup purely to stop it from falling into Nigma's hands, and then Croaky would have picked up their to play as the 5 role. But Navi, they're going to take it instead. So we'll see how they're able to utilize this hero and whether they can actually use it to the great effect that Secret and Nigma can. Most likely going to be for always want to fly the position 5 role. You just don't need to put it in every role. He doesn't really need items. He just needs to sit back and spam out Heavenly Grace, heal people up, and just always make sure he's able to use that GA in dire situations. So I think maybe that's thrown Nigma off a little bit. They're having to really think about their second pickup now, using quite a bit of their reserve time already. But they are going to grab the Slardar. Very high contested position 3 for quite a lot of teams. Even Navi does like to pick it up, put it in the hands of General. So Nigma's going to have that ability, so we'll probably see him go for a position 1 that can really utilise this minus armor effect that comes out from the Slardar. So something like a PA, a Sven, Lifestealer, all these sort of heroes really love this minus armor. Just tear people to shreds. Navi actually going to grab the Sven themselves, so already secured their position 1 for V-Tune to roll up in. Made it a Sven with a Heavenly Grace on top of him, so goddamn annoying. You just can't lock this guy down for long enough, and he just keeps on running at you and causing so much chaos. There's already a nice little combo there for Navi, but I mean Nigma, they've got the Slardar Lina set up. It's a triple stun lane with a nuke on top as well from the Lina. It's quite a scary lane to go up against, but they're going to be up against the Omni Knight and the Sven. So as long as if always want to fly is in the correct spot, you can always chuck the Heavenly Grace onto V-Tune and just try and keep them safe. Either heal them up or just give them loads of protection. Either one works pretty damn well. Navi, they ban out the PA and the Morphling. 2 heroes that can really abuse the minus armor from Slardar. And then Nigma, they get rid of the Void Spirit and the Beastmaster, just sort of focusing their bans towards General and Iceberg. Maybe just Iceberg, really, those 2 picks, the 2 ban outs. They could potentially ban out the Mars. If they ban out the Mars, then that means they're not thinking about going for Lifestealer at all. But then they could ban out the Mars to lure Navi into full sense of security, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Who knows? Instead they're going to ban out Nature's Prophet, which would have been a hero for Iceberg to take into the mid lane. I think General... I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen General play in Nature's Prophet. I'm trying to think, but I can't remember. Pretty sure it's just always... they generally put it for Iceberg in the mid lane. So Navi actually banned out the Lifestealer, so maybe potentially going to grab that Mars now? Maybe. General does enjoy playing it. And then we'll see what sort of position for... Well, if they are going to grab that, what position for they want to pair up with that Mars, potentially. Okay, so they're going to go with the Dark Willow. That'll be for the position 4 in the hands of Roger. So Dark Willow does pair up nicely with a Mars. We'll see if maybe that's still the pick that they're going to aim for. But Nigma, they respond by taking up the Phoenix. So it tends to be GH who plays the Phoenix when it's on Nigma's side. So maybe this Lena's going to be the position 5 role for Kuroki, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see how maybe they might swap things around last minute. You never know. But Na'Vi, they do go with that Mars. So that is their position 3, going to be for General. And then you got the Mars Dark Willow combo, which is a little bit scary sometimes. Does have the potential to deal quite a lot of damage and a large amount of lockdown as well. And there's either, depending on if this Lena or this Phoenix is position 5, neither can really provide a huge amount of assistance if someone gets gone on by these stuns. I mean, the Phoenix to be able to slow down their attack speed with the Fire Spirits, but that's not exactly going to be the biggest save in the world, is it? A little bit of an awkward one, that. Unless maybe they're going to swap it around and put this Lena as a core role. Oh no, never mind. So Nigma, they grab the Hour of Devourer for Weehar in the mid lane. I mean, it's definitely abusing the fact that the Mars, the Sven, I think even the Omni Knight doesn't really have a great mana pool, so it's going to be a way to deal quite a lot of damage when he drops that hammer in these team fights. And they even ban out 2 of the top sort of intelligence heroes as well, Nigma, so any sort of mid hero that can do okay against the OD, or at least just have a big mana pool to not get crushed by that ultimate. So still Miracle's hero left to pick up for the side of Nigma. Na'Vi is still after icebergs. Could maybe Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, it could be alright. Going up against the Sven, I mean, it's always pretty easy to get the counter spell off, so you can always avoid the Sven stun that way, but even still, he may possibly struggle laning up against the Mars and the Dark Willow. At least he'd always be able to drain the mana away from the Mars, so potentially, you know, really reducing the opportunities that Na'Vi's going to be able to go for the spear into the Bramble Maze combo. I was actually going to grab the Ember Spirit. So, position 1 Ember? In the hands of Miracle? Yeah, I guess it must be. So, Pulse 1 Ember Spirit, it's not really something you see very often. Whenever you see an Ember Spirit, it's 99.9% of the time, he's always just going to be that mid laner for you, potentially an off laner. You very rarely see it in the position 1 role. But those slight fists, they're going to hurt with the minus armor coming out from Slardar as well. But at least Na'Vi, they've got the Warcry that comes out from Sven, so they'll be able to somewhat counter that minus armor coming out from the Slardar with the Warcry. Just buff it basically up to a neutral standing point. But there's loads of time left for Na'Vi to really think about what they want to grab for Iceberg in the mid lane. They've got quite a few like strength frontlining heroes. You've got Mars, Sven, and an Omni Knight. Well, obviously the Omni Knight's not going to be the frontline. He's always been hanging back, but he's a pretty tanky hero, so they don't need someone who can soak up damage. They're sort of after other forms of damage at the moment. It's literally just all on Sven. When it actually gets to the sort of late mid-game period. Potentially like a Queen of Pain perhaps can assist in a nice chunk of damage. Plus also can build the Orchid Malevolence to try and get a couple of grabs onto the Ember Spirit or the Outworld Devourer. And even the Phoenix. Because then it'll force the Ember to try and build like a Yules or something. But actually go for the Silencer. So, not a hero you tend to see very often, but the Silencer's definitely doing quite nicely in the mid lane. Got that very high mana pool to be able to really counter the ultimate coming out from the OD. Plus going to be able to harass him out relatively well with the Curse. I'm going to like rejoin the server because, I don't know, getting some weird little like delay stuff going on. Might just quickly try and restart the game. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Generally, there's like a really long period where the game's loading in, so should be okay. If you're also watching this as like a recording, just skip forward.
Inhale and exhale.
Crazy Raven, mate. Hey, it's pretty much a good time, so they've all just kicked off. It's almost like that was intentional. I think it's fixed the FPS problems as well. So don't worry, boys and girls. We're going to have a smooth game. Until my PC decides to and hero and start causing me jip again. I'll have to wait and see. But it looks like Nigma, they're sending 4 heroes down towards this bot lane. Maybe thinking if someone from the side of Na'Vi tries to head into their jungle, they might just catch them out on the high ground. It has happened quite a few times before, just people not quite expecting this big hero commitment at the early parts of the game. But I don't think anyone on the side of Na'Vi is going to get caught out this time. Everyone's keeping their distance. Yeah. The patient waiting from Nigma. Probably not going to come to any sort of fruition to get a kill at this point. Everyone's just going to bail back, head to their own lanes. Going to set up for a pretty default setup.
Just what I was waiting for.
So we'll have to see how this position 5 Lena turns out. You tend to see this hero as a 4 minimum. But I mean, it's very similar to sort of like running a Rubik as position 5. They tend to like to have a couple of items or so, but you never know. We'll see what Kuroki's able to do. Might make something fancy happen. So it ends up just being 2 for 2 on the bounties. No one going crazy to try and get a cheeky steal. Not sure what those pings are there by Kuroki. Pinging out the outpost. Who knows? Who knows what's going on the comms?
The moon drives you to delirium.
So see what Iceberg does in this mid lane, going up against Weeha. Just spamming out those glaives already. Does quite a lot of damage. It's so little good, it's just 15 mana. It's hardly anything at all. I mean, it'd be even more broken if you could use those glaives to try and actually deny creeps as well. That would be broken. That would be very broken. But thankfully, Ice Frog had the super foresight to realise that that would be a god-awful thing. And Silencer would probably get spammed like a real annoying bastard. So it looks like so far Miracle's having a pretty free time farming here down bottom. There's not much General can really do to harass him at this point. Maybe once the creep wave gets a little bit closer to the dire tier 1, they might potentially try and make some sort of play onto Miracle. At least to stall out his farming speed. Meanwhile, on the reverse side, Vichin, he's having an okay time as well. Getting quite nice on his CS. Obviously, it's not really... I mean, MC and GH are still level 1. Meanwhile, Vichin's level 3. Obviously, there is like a humongous creep wedge still left to farm up. And another one coming in a minute. So maybe once my control's like level 3, GH is level 3, they might try and apply a little bit of pressure onto Vichin. Iceberg. Trying to get a kill. The last word, not quite enough to finish him off.
Yourself get carried away.
He got carried away. Nearly got carried away killing you. Oh, a missed down bomb. Kuroki actually ends up getting the first blood onto General. So a nice grab up there by them. I'm not sure whether if Kuroki was 1-1-0 or not, or if he was 0-1-1 on his skills. Because I don't think he probably would have got his level 3 once they got that kill. So nice very early kill there by them, picking up on his level 2. Despite the fact that Iceberg's managing to constantly harass our Weehaw, we are still doing okay on CS. Actually 16-9 to the 13-4 of Iceberg. So if you look at it just like pure CS wise, he's doing really nicely. But actual HP wise, he's always a lot lower than Iceberg is. Mind you, he's still got a Tango left in his... well, no he doesn't. So maybe they're pretty even on regen actually. Seems like Iceberg's only down to a Fairy Fire himself. Maybe both people are bringing out a bottle finally. Trying to get that little bit of extra sustain in the mid lane. So it's all still relatively calm for the moment. 5-minute bounties are coming up, and Kuroki looks like he tried to head down for the bottom bounty there, but easily gets zoned out by General and Roger. Even steps out of position there, gets hit by the Gods of Buchan, easily speared into the trees. The Dark Grub comes out from Roger, might be able to do quite a bit of damage. Not going to be enough to finish off, but a few more right clicks, and I think Roger should be able to get a kill. Actually forces out the healing salve, and Kuroki, oh, he runs into the Bramble Maze, that actually gets him killed. So nice little Bramble Maze there by Roger, netting that kill, also making him waste his healing salve as well. And now they're able to just focus their attention onto Miracle, speared into the trees, the crown stuns him up, and he doesn't have any sort of utility to try and escape this. He's just trying to walk away. There's another God Rebuke up in a couple of seconds, another Dark Realm activated, even connects with the Bramble Maze, whacked in the face, and Miracle actually ends up falling. So 2 kills there from Na'Vi at the bottom lane, also getting the bounty rune. So that went very, very nicely for them. But on the return on the other side of the map, I think Always Wanna Fly did actually die. Yeah, Always Wanna Fly died by GH. And who got the bounty up there? GH ended up getting the bounty as well. So it's most likely just going to be 2 for 2 on the bounties. Just a couple of little trades across the map. But even still, Na'Vi getting that very high priority kill of the Ember Spirit. Just going to delay this game out a little bit. I mean, it is an early level death, so it's not exactly like the biggest punishment in the world, but every little helps. Any sort of like gap you can make between the 2 position ones, they'll snatch up. Even still, Miracle is actually still 200 gold over the top of V-Tune. Ice Tune. Some weird combo of the two. But even still, the CS in this mid lane is pretty damn even. 31-8 to Iceberg. to the 13-12 of Weeha. There's a very, very slight difference in the two. So, pretty evenly matched so far. We'll see if maybe either of them try and make some sort of early rotation, or if they're all just going to carry on chilling. I mean, just loads of null talismans coming out from Iceberg. Really wants to ramp up his intelligence. Outdoing Weeha by only having 3 to his 2. Rotation coming out from Kuroki. Wants to try and set up for a kill, but the banishment's way too far back. Even GH coming in here. Will even pop his global silence. Just try and make a little bit of space. Another TP coming in there from Roger. Not quite enough time. The hammer gets dropped by Weeha and he brings him down. Nigma did actually die somewhere else. So Nigma actually dropped, Miracle dropped at the bottom lane. And then Roger tried TPing to the mid after getting that kill to try and assist Iceberg, but couldn't quite get there in time. Meanwhile up top, Always Want to Fly did die once again. Oh, Roger, he's trying to dodge the LSA, but it's not coming out from Kuroki. He just chucks a Dragon Slave in his face instead. There's an Nigma really want to force down this tier 1 tower. I don't think they're quite going to get it just yet. Definitely taking a lot of damage though. So Vichun, he's gone into the jungle now. Ooh, finds that royal jelly. What everyone dreams of picking up. And GH just making this farming location for Vichun a real pain in the ass. And he is at the top of the CS chart, but I'm pretty sure he's second on net worth as well. My Control's just having a complete free farm up top. Like, just completely left alone at this point. Got his power treads, casual windlace, and going straight for that bling dagger as his main item. So he wants to be able to just try and initiate for the rest of his team. There's this really, I mean, the Ember Spirit to some degree can initiate. It's not exactly the most effective means. Seeing this out, it's only a root, the shackles that come out, the chains, sorry. Whereas obviously the Slardar is just a straight up stump. Even piercing through magic mean most times. Oh, the arena gets committed by a general, and he actually manages to time it correctly. So Miracle gets speared into the side, and with the fear on top, he's forced him to run backwards, getting controlled up, and then Terrorize comes out. He gets brought down by that Bedlam. Kuroki tries to go for a TP out, but it doesn't matter. There is the Bramble-based connection, stops him from bailing. A little God rebuke to the face there by General, and Kuroki drops. So 2 kills there for Na'Vi in the bot lane. Once again, another death onto Miracle now. I think he's, 3 deaths. Still 0 kills. But Nigma just keeping up their aggression in the mid lane, trying to take it down. They do finally get the kill onto it. Vichun did make a rotation to maybe try and make some sort of counterplay happen, but the Stormhammer, it did connect, but way too far away. No one on the side of Na'Vi was close enough to really capitalise on the stun. So I think there needs to be... The fact that Miracle's game has been quite heavily beaten down at this point. I mean, I say heavily beaten down, but he's still only like 250 gold behind Vichun. I mean, we're saying that Vichun's not exactly had the best game himself, to be honest. Just the constant aggression that came out from Mind Control up top. Couldn't quite get the freest farm. Here up top, Miracle and Mind Control both just collapse onto Always Want to Fly, and he drops once again. 3 deaths on him. He's still not even got basic brown boots. The Pos 5 life, eh? Isn't it sad? It makes my soul cry. It looks like Mind Control, they spot Vichun down to the low ground and trying to wrap around the side. But Vichun just managed to clear up the camp fast enough and manages to bail. I think he even pinned out the fact that there was a ward there, so they might try and get some sort of counter ward up. It looks like General and Roger tried to make a move onto Weeha, but it looks like they're going to get caught out. The egg even gets committed there by GH. It looks like the stun will probably just about connect onto Roger. Oh, never mind, he just gets hit by the Astral Imprisonment. So this... Oh, he dodged it again. Roger's still alive. He's making a lot of space, going for the Terrorize play. Manages to get the fear onto Weeha, but it doesn't connect onto GH. If that managed to connect onto Phoenix as well, he might have been able to get a successful TP out and survive. It was a nice attempt. Very nice attempt. They definitely made Weeha work for it. It took a little bit longer than I think he was anticipating. Miracles has got plenty of space now, working his way up onto the top lane. Everyone else is completely dispersed amongst the other parts of the map. Even Iceberg coming out to the arena came out for General, but it was off. I was able to just walk straight through it. Even the NSA connects onto him to hold him back. That could have been a nice kill set up there onto Weeha. I don't think there would have been any sort of way for him to survive that. He would have been able to potentially get his Astral off before the Spear Stun came in. But even still, that was most likely going to be a free kill. So we are just working up for that Kaya as his first item. I think Nigma... I keep saying Nigma for Miracle. I don't know why. It confuses me every single time I see his name. Some part of my brain just doesn't like it. Who knows what. But Miracle, he's got Yule Scepter queued up. Pretty decent item on the Ember Spirit in most cases anyway. Being able to try and like provide a little bit of extra time to get your Fire Remnants off. Just keep yourself alive. But also in this game, it's going to be able to purge off the silencers coming out from the silencer. Even just going to stand his ground against Featured up on this high ground. Baron Base comes out, terrorized on top. Ooh, he got cancelled. Maybe potentially Miracle could have got trapped by that, but I mean, I don't think there was really enough damage between those three heroes anyway to bring him down to that amount of time, especially with the Fire Shield online. Mind you, this defense is like all physical damage. Maybe the Fire Shield wouldn't have done too much. So they kept changing their mind, but down towards that bottom rune. Maybe Roger thought about trying to make a move onto Kuroki there, but changed his mind. I think they just got the vision on the other members of Nigma on the other side of the river. The Mike Jogger jumps forward. It looks like Always One Flies probably going to die once again. Sunray burning him down. Weeha and Mind Control just slapping him in the back. Mind Control tried it up until the high ground there. Gets caught out by the stun from Vici and then the Global Silence as well. So there's no support from the rest of Nigma. And they're all having to fall back now. General, he's tried to get close enough to try and set up for an arena play, but he couldn't quite get there in time. He's going for a Yule Scepter of his own. I thought maybe a Blink Dagger could have been a little bit better for him, because Navi's definitely lacking a little bit of initiation. I mean, they'll have the Sven when he eventually gets that Aghanims online, but that's still going to be quite a whiles away, and they need some way to catch people out. So I really think General should have swapped this out and gone for a Blink, but it's too late. He's already bought too many components for it. His decision has been made. Will it bite him in the ass? Who knows? Vichun, he's starting to accelerate his farm a little bit now. Got his Master Commanders online. Got Echo Saber as well. So we'll start to see him actually climb up that net worth chart. He's got the BKB queued up as a second item as well. But MC and Miracle, they're just charging forwards. Mike Control gets the stun onto Always Want to Fly, trying to hold him in place. Even the support coming out from Roger might hold him back in time. I think Always Want to Fly's going to live. Mike Control's actually taking quite a bit of damage as well, especially seeing how Iceberg's here. Even the Guardian Angel gets popped by Always Want to Fly, trying to keep him alive. Trying to hit onto the egg. But this Always Want to Fly, even gets stunned and the Guna Blade into the place. He gets brought down. Iceberg even just got hit by the right clicks as well. The arena finally comes out from General, but it doesn't do anything. There's zero follow-up from the rest of Na'Vi. And Miracles is keeping the pressure going. Finds another grab here onto Roger. Even the jump forward from Mind Control brings him down. Another death on Na'Vi, losing 4 heroes. And they don't get a single thing. Not anything at all. They use the arena, they use the Guardian Angel, and they use Global Silence. And every single member on Nigma survives. That's just real salt in the wound. It's got to feel bad for Na'Vi. It just seemed like a really weird, sort of play from them. They tried falling back, and then I think someone must have called out to try and turn it around, but no one was really in the proper position yet. And it all just goes to crap. Iceberg just gets completely caught out in the wrong position. Mind Control just starts slapping him in the face with that big water hammer thing. Whatever the hell Slardar wills. What the hell is it? Who knows? Like a big crab claw thing. God knows what. Baby still, the lead just keeps growing now for the side of Nigma. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure in the and the next coming fights on V-Tune to be able to actually get a couple of items online to try and keep his team in this game. I mean, once they get that BKB online on him, they could potentially try and go for a play. Because at least then he ain't just going to get Astral imprisoned by Weeheart every single time and completely nullified. So Weeheart got his Kaya online, working straight for that Bloodstone. Wants to just go for pure sustain. Which I dig. I mean, he's pretty damn strong already. And a lot of their physical damage, well, a lot of their damage is mainly from Mind Control and Miracle as well. Just the bonus magical damage that comes out for Weehaw on top just makes it quite difficult for Na'Vi to try and prioritise what sort of damage to mitigate. It seems like there is a high amount of both of them. Even with his Bloodstone, already finished up at 17 minutes. A really nice timer on that. Meanwhile, Iceberg, he's just got an Atos. Atos and 3 Null Talismans. I mean, sure, he's going to be hitting quite hard, but it's 18 minutes in, and he's only got 2 perma stacks of intelligence on him. You really like to see a Silencer with, like, you know, good... At this point, I'd say you want a minimum of, like, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that. That'd be really ideal. But we'll see if in the coming fights he's able to, Na'Vi's able to come on top, and then we'll start to see those charges really start racking up for him. Well, looks like a little hunting party comes out from Nigma towards the dire triangle, but they don't find anyone. Vishin's able to clear up the Ancients before they got caught. But now they're going to try and make a move now onto Miracle. He tries to get the Fire Remnant out, but he gets caught by the Dual Scepter. Oh, the Spear's off the mark! It doesn't quite grab him, it doesn't matter. Vichin's able to stun him in place and hold him down. Mind Control did jump in, but he gets caught by that Global Silence, so he can't do any sort of follow-up. Now everyone on the side of Na'Vi's pushing forward. They want to try and find something else. I don't think they're going to be able to find it, though. Even Mind Control just sat in the trees, maybe thinking about trying to go for some sort of counterplay, but Na'Vi have already decided they're just going to fall back. They got the high priority kill of Miracle. That's all they really need. Now Vision's is going to be able to go back to farming. So they find something. It's gonna halt that gold lead for a little bit. There's a very slight little dip. And even the BKB now finished up for V-Tune as well. So he's definitely going to be able to start fighting a little bit better. Weehar's effectiveness in these coming fights is definitely going to be mitigated. We do see a smoke coming out from Na'Vi as well, heading around through the river, but Nigma have already done a smoke of their own. Looks like Mind Control leaned away. Ooh, he tries to go for a blind jump onto V-Tune. Doesn't quite get the connection though. So maybe he might just run into Always Want to Fly though, trying to camp out for this bounty rune. Poor Always Want to Fly is only level 8. He doesn't even manage to get the bounty rune. Mind Control beats him to it. He tries to go for a very ambitious TP, but you're against the Slardar, man. That's not going to work. So Always Want to Fly dies, but at least General managed to take the triangle bounty away, so they should be able to get 3 bounties here. Oh, never mind. GH snatches that bottom one as well. And the rest of Nigma, they all just go straight into the Roche pit. And the minus armor coming out from this Corrosive Haze, level 2 as well, so it's like minus 15 armor? Yeah, minus 15 armor. Pretty easy kill here onto the Roche. The scan finally comes out there from Na'Vi, but it's miles too late. There's no way they can make any sort of counterplay. So who are they going to give the Aegis to? Is it going to be Miracle or is it going to be Weehaw? They are actually going to give it to Weehaw. Maybe they just want Miracle to try and play more of an elusive role rather than just being straight up in the front lines. Let's wait and see how this goes. Jump forward from Mind Control, gets a double man crush. The Global Silence now comes out. So Nigma just has to fall back for now, wait for that Global Silence to run out, and then they can start re-engaging. Jump forward from Miracle, he gets the chain stun onto V-Tune, holding him down. The BKB is still available if they want to try and make some sort of counterplay happen. Another jump forward from Mind Control, gets the stun connection onto V-Tune, plus the Astral Imprisonment. Just constantly holding him out, trying to drain his mana as much as he can. Even the Sun Ray is doing so much damage. But with that Heavenly Grace coming out from Always Want to Fly, it's really difficult to try and find grabs onto this Sven. Just all of your disables last half the duration. It's really difficult to try and play around, because you play so many games of Dota where there is no Omni Knight, and then to all of a sudden go to a game where there is one. It's kind of hard to adjust the way your stunts all of a sudden change their durations. It's quite odd. I think all Nigma really need to do is just not get too overexcited and try and commit a bit too aggressively for these kills onto VTune. They just need to stay cool, calm, and collected. Just try and grab people when they step out of position. But General, he's finally got that Blink Dagger online, so he's going to be able to start initiating a little bit easier now. Weehar's got his BKB queued up, so he's going to be able to avoid the next, well, still a whiles away yet. Well, actually, they've smoked out hiding in the mid lane. He'll jump forward, get the stun connection onto Roger, plus the easy LSA. And the poor Dark Willow cannot survive that whatsoever. I think Wiz is on the hunt for something else, but everyone from Na'Vi just completely bail. They don't want any part of that. So VTune just working towards the axe as his next item. As soon as he gets that online, it's going to be a lot easier to follow up from the initiations that will be coming out from General. Just want to try and get on top of Weehar as fast as they possibly can and bring him down, because he is going to be the real powerhouse in these coming fights. I mean, he's almost got a BKB up 700 gold away. Or 600 gold. 600 gold away, sorry. Even earlier. Woo! 100 gold. Big difference. A smoke coming out from Na'Vi, but immediately they just find the jump straight onto Miracle. Going to set up for the Bramble Maze as well, and the Godstrain pop by VTune brings him down. Kuroki looks like he's going to end up caught out as well. Gets hit by the crown. Tries to go for some sort of counter play onto Iceberg, but I think he just chuck it out as his Laguna Blade for the hell of it. The General's still hunting forwards. Saw the creeps there moving away, chasing GH, but he wisely dives away. So Na'Vi, they find a couple of pickoffs. Is that a nice juicy kill onto Miracle? Now there's a little bit of space for them to try and make something happen. I mean, is every single tier 1 still available for Nigma? And they're all very, very healthy as well. So there's been very little pushing coming out from Na'Vi. Hardly stepped on the Radiant side of the map at all. And even still, just the fact that they're a 5 versus 3 scenario, but they still don't quite feel strong enough to try and push onto this tier 1. All Weehar and Michael have to do is to show their face, and everyone on the side of Na'Vi just has to fall back. They're immediately going for another counterplay. Obviously, they are all spotted out by this ward, so Na'Vi realise they're in this area. Looks like maybe they want to try and set up for something themselves, all gathered around. The BKB is available once again for VTune. Doesn't have his ultimate though, so they will reduce his damage. So I wonder what General's going to queue up as his next item. Possibly a BKB as well. Need some way, because I mean, seeing as how VTune's no longer going to be there to get Astral imprisoned up, then it's going to fall to either Iceberg or General as the next high priority targets for Weehar. Iceberg's building his BKB, and Iceberg, I imagine he'll be able to build a BKB as well. It's quite an essential item against this lineup. We now see a smoke coming out from Na'Vi though. They're going to be on the hunt. I think they saw Weehar as well down bottom. His A just runs out, but he's already TP'd away. Just sensing that coming gank. And they'll completely bail, so it doesn't look like any sort of prey is going to be found for Na'Vi with this smoke usage. So only got a quarter of duration left. Oh, they might actually run straight into Nigma here. Miracle and Roger, they pop each other smokes. So they both realise the other team's on the other side of this little wall. Oh, jump forward for Micro. Actually get the double crush connection onto VG well, but he's changed his target. Jumps straight towards onto Miracle. Deals quite a bit of damage and not enough. The global silence finally comes out from Iceberg. Kuroki just melts in a second, way too much. Iceberg finally falls and Micro just finish him off. But it doesn't matter. He's an easy target for Vichu. Gets brought down. His BKB wears off though, so he has to bail out. So much magic damage coming out from Weeha. Even the hammer gets dropped, nearly brings him down. Miracle joins in, manages to finish off the kill onto Always Wanna Fly. Vichu is in full retreat. Gonna try and turn around. The spear comes out, but it doesn't connect onto Weeha, so he's able to get Astral Prison up and he's kept safe. So Miracle will survive this. Looks like even Roger trying to go for a counter play. Will he get the connection to Miracle? No, he won't. He gets stunned up and gets brought down again. Ends up being a triple kill for Weeha. So 3 kills for Nigma. Or 4 kills actually, with a buyback on Always Wanna Fly. And 2 deaths on the side of Nigma as well, with a buyback on Kuroki. So both position 5s end up buying back. But even still, very nice fight there. Comes out from Nigma. Definitely getting the advantage. I think, I suppose there was actually, I was going to say, I think Vici really needs to try and focus Weeha with that initial jump instead of Miracle, but obviously Weeha, having his BKB online, just meant that Vici wouldn't have been able to jump onto him and try and make some sort of play happen. But also maybe Navi want to try and go for another grab here. They can spear him into the tier 2. I suppose it's laying him in from afar, but a BKB gets popped by Weeha, and he does okay. He's just turned around, slapping into General now. I don't think General's going to be able to survive this. Meanwhile, the rest of Navis is falling to the sides. Roger ends up dropping. Always Wanna Fly is going to be short to follow. And another triple kill for Weeha. Now Godlike Spree. Navis is putting a lot of focus on trying to delay Miracle's game that Weeha's has had a complete open time. 9-0-3 right now. Even going for the Hurricane Pike as his next item. He just wants range. He's got enough damage. He's got enough survivability at this point. All he needs is to be able to hit people from even further away. Buyback comes out from Roger, and that's actually going to be enough to force Nigma back. Roshan potentially up in 10 seconds. Depends what the spawn time is going to be. And it is minute 16. So not super long to wait. In fact, that Hurricane Pike's just instantly finished off from Weeha as well. Man just had so much money sat in his back pocket. I mean, Vichu, he's still doing really well on farming. Actually at the top of that net worth at the moment. He's got a Chrysalis as well. Not going to bother to finish up into the Daedalus. He's going straight for the Basher next. He definitely needs some way to stun up Weeha through that BKB, and the Abyssal Blade is definitely a way to do that. To see if they're able to get the time, but no. Meanwhile, Mike he gets to jump straight onto Iceberg. Melted in seconds underneath the burning heat of that Sunray. Miracle just charging forwards. They want to find someone else. Looks like they might potentially find Always Wanna Fly. But he ducks down to the bottom parts of the trees. He's able to survive. Even the chains there, nearly connected onto General. Not quite enough. Oh, he's actually found General up at the top lane. The Bramble Maze is actually going to be enough to stall Weeha out. Keeps General safe. Nigma's going to roll straight into that Roach Pit as soon as he spawns. I mean, if Navi act fast, they could potentially try and set up some sort of counterplay. They've even smoked up. They're dawdling. They're not going fast enough. The Roshan's already down to half HP. If they want to make something happen, they have to go right now. But even still, Vichu's going to get spotted out with that high ground ward. And I just don't think they're going to be able to get here in time. Yeah, this Roche is going to be gone. They're charging as quick as they possibly can. General is just out on the high ground. Miracle actually ends up jumping straight on in there. Gets a connection onto General. Gets hit by Yenisei as well. Followed up. Even Microtrol gets the connection onto Always Wanna Fly. 2 super quick deaths on the side of Na'Vi. It looks like Roger's even going to get caught out now. Roger, he's delaying it. He's delaying it for as long as he can. It's not going to be enough though. Ooh, the uphill miss comes out for Weeha. And then the runaway toss, but it doesn't matter. He got just close enough, Miracle, to poke him in the back with that double damage. It was enough to bring him down. It's a little handy casual salve on the floor. Miracle will take that. Oh. Vichun? He actually got a solo kill to GH, but I mean, that does cost him his God Strength and his BKB. And in the meantime, Vichun just gets immediately gone on. The Global Silence comes out, but Global Silence does absolutely nothing against BKBs. There's nothing. They want to try and do something to defend this, but it's really difficult. They don't have much left in the bank. The God Strength, he's only got a core restoration left. Still no BKB online. So maybe Microtrol wants to go for a dive forward. Rogers even come around from the side. He's going to get the ground connection onto Weehar and then jump forward for Vichun. It's enough damage. They actually managed to bring down Miracle. The Terrorize comes out. It's going to force Kuroki to fall back. So it's just Weehar left in the front. The Hurricane Bite tries to make a bit of space, but the Superman comes flying in and finishes off Weehar. He does have the Aegis. He's going to be back pretty soon. We'll see. Oh, then the immediate spear comes out from General. So Weehar just gets left for dead by the rest of Nigma. Very tasty kill there. Falls for Na'Vi. Big chunk of gold goes into Iceberg's pocket. Definitely something needed. He's still working onto that BKB. Quite a ways off yet. It looks like Roger and General, they're not done. They want to find something else. But Kuroki and Microtrol, they're able to bail out just in time. So they're not going to join their fellow dead comrades. But, I mean, even still, Na'Vi, they managed to hold. They forced Nigma away from their barracks. Kept them all alive. And that melee barracks will actually still slowly heal back up to full HP. So they're doing pretty well. But, I mean, even still, like, if this game goes really late, I'm not sure who... I think Nigma's still favoured if this game goes super late, you know. You got the Ember, Slardar, and the Outworld Devourer against the Sven, the Silencer, and the Mars. Actually, even Kuroki can scale pretty damn well. He is obviously the position 5, so he's not going to have the speediest of progressions, but even still, if this game does go late enough, I think Nigma will have the advantage. I think there's even a Blink Dagger as well now for Weehar. Even more ways for them to initiate and try and get some easy pickoffs. They're going to spoke up towards the mid lane and try and wrap round towards the bot, see if they find anything. Everyone on the side of Na'Vi is just completely bailing out of here, though. Good bit of a sixth sense from them. Summit was tingling and they weren't happy, so they all bail. So there's all 3 waves, no one's showing up. This would have been a very dangerous place to try and stay around. Finally, Weehar shows himself in the smoke, so they realise they made the correct play in dodging out. Even still, they're just a little bit scared to try and actually move out and farm. I mean, GH is like... GH has got 3,000 more gold than Iceberg and General. And that's pretty scary. What's GH actually bought then? So he's got the Lotus Orb, he's got a Yules, and he's working towards that Shiva's Guard as well. He's nearly got it, only 500 gold away as well. Definitely got a very nice item progression. Meanwhile, Vichun, he's finished up his Daedalus, he's finished up a Silver Blade? It's really Silver Edge, sorry. So what's really the best passives to burn off? It's literally just the bash coming out from Slardar. I suppose the Silver Edge is literally just to try and get Vichun into a better position for when they do engage. I mean, there's no invis heroes on either side of the map, so I suppose Nigma, they're not really going to be too heavily invested into sentries at this point. So Vichun, you will probably have the opportunity to sneak up onto the backlines and maybe just quickly burst down those 2 supports before they can lend too much a helping hand. But even still, just without those 2 supports, Nigma's so damn strong. We are even working towards that Siphon Vice. Na'Vi, they're jumping forward. with their smoke up. It does pop, but Weehar's able to get the blink dagger away and the sprint from Mind Control as well. Able to run with jump forwards! Ravage onto everyone, collects 4. Huge stun from him. Always want to fly, quickly drops the Guna Blade into General's face, and he dies as well. V-Tune, he gets caught flying all the way to the back line. The A-Game gets committed, but now he's stuck amongst everyone. He's actually doing so much damage. He manages to bring down Mind Control. And even Kuroki, caught from the side by Roger, he gets brought down as well. So V-Tune, he's still just about barely surviving. The hammer gets dropped by Weehar, blows up Roger and V-Tune both at the same time. It looks like Always Want to Fly gets caught out by Miracle. Is this Iceberg left all alone? He's trying to stand his ground, but there's no way he can do it. And he ends up dropping. So it ends up being a 5-for-2 trade. I think there was a couple of buybacks as well. There's actually there's 2 buybacks on the side of Na'Vi. So, well, I said the Iceberg bought back. Unless that was in the previous fight. No, I'm pretty sure he bought back for that fight. So I think that's a... Nah, because he's got the set. He would have a bigger death time otherwise. But even still. I think that's a 6-for-2 trade favouring Nigma. Can take away the mid racks, finally. Take away the top racks as well. At least for Na'Vi, that they have the satisfaction of their tier 2 down bottom still alive. So they're not going to get megaed right now. But they have such terrible... like... actual building hitting heroes that this just takes forever to take down. Weehar's purely magical damage that does nothing. There's not exactly a huge amount of physical damage coming out from Miracle either. Only him for 160. Go for that like pure sort of magical based lineup. They've even got 2 Shivas. I don't know if that's a little bit of miscommunication or not, but or maybe they just want 2 Shivas. Who knows? Finally, Mind Control gets here. So he's going to be able to assist and take down these buildings a little bit faster, but even still, I think the creeps at this point probably do more combined damage. Kuroki's actually trying to set up down bottom, pushing this last tier 2. It looks like he will fall. Ooh, jump fall from Miracle. Nearly gets to connect onto General, but he's able to bail just in time. Keeps himself alive for now. Scythe online for Weeha. Even more potency in these coming fights. 30 charges on this Bloodstone. Good lord. This guy's got insane mana regen. 50.3 mana regen a second. That's nuts. I think the only thing that Na'Vi really can do is just hope that General gets the perfect initiation. But even still, he has to try and catch out one of those calls on the side of Nigma before they can just get their BKBs off and easily evade all the lockdown on the side of Na'Vi. But V-Tune's like pretty close to being 6 slotted. Oh, jump forward for Weeha. Gets the Astral Imprisonment off. Holding that Iceberg, jump forward for Miracle. We've just bounces away the NSA. It does end up missing. Roger, he's jumped straight on in there. Tries to go for some sort of initiation. V-Tune now jumps straight towards Weeha. Trying to them down. Just getting a couple of lucky crits. Weeha's taking quite a bit of damage with the Global Silence on top. It goes on and Weeha actually gets brought down before he can do much damage in this fight. Even Iceberg manages to survive in the back lines. He's just trying to do enough damage onto Miracle. He gets hit by the Fear, trying to delay him back. And he looks like he will just about fall before the stun durations wore off. Some very nice moves there by Na'Vi. They finally get an advantageous fight. Take down 3 and only losing Roger. I think that's what... It's just what we... the side of Na'Vi need to do. They need to wait for Weeha to pop his BKB and then go for the Global Silence. They're going to move straight on into this Roshan pit now. I'm going to try and get this up whilst they can. GH is sat on the sides. Even Mind Control here. A buyback from Miracle and Kuroki. They want to try and get over here as fast as possible. Always Want to Fly, get focused up. The arena comes out, but it doesn't matter. General Always Want to Fly, get way too low. And Miracle's just constantly charging into the back lines. He will get hit by the Yules. And the setup for the potential of the Bramble Maze, but it doesn't quite connect. Mind Control jumps forward. Makes a little bit of space for him. He's just getting hit by Iceberg though. He's taking quite a bit of damage. The Sun Rays enough there to keep him healed up for now. The buyback came out from General. It's enough to actually finish Miracle off. But it doesn't matter. V-Tune end up dropping. There's enough damage from Mind Control to bring him down by himself. JG's hunting forward for her. Oh, he just managed to get the clearance onto Iceberg, so he ends up dropping. And now General getting completely caught out. Even a buyback from Iceberg. If General falls here, it's just going to be him left all alone. He's going to try and go for a quick little counter kill here onto MC, but it doesn't matter. MC stands his ground with the cheese. Just pops it straight away, focusing onto Iceberg. And this is going to be a dieback. Always want to flies up in 2 seconds, but it's not going to matter. It's just going to be an Omni Knight against everyone, and they call it. They are done. Nice plays there by Nigma. They were just ahead the entirety of this game. I mean, that fight only a couple of minutes ago from Na'Vi, it looked pretty good, but they tried forcing that Roshan, and then a couple of buybacks from Nigma completely shut that move down, and it actually ends up just costing them the entire game. So it was a good fought. It was a good attempt to try and go for that Roche. They needed some way to actually get an advantage in these coming fights, but there was just too many buybacks available. And yeah, Nigma, they read it perfectly, completely countered it, and shut them down. Very well played by them. Much deserved victory. So we'll see what Na'Vi's able to do for the second game. Hopefully they might be able to bring it back a little bit and just try and stay chill, you know. Don't let that sort of loss go to your head. Maybe... do you need to ban out the Outward Devourer? Maybe not. It just worked quite well against Na'Vi's lineup. Good way to disrupt the Sven and a lot of low intelligence heroes. Despite the fact that this Silencer did come out from Na'Vi, but it didn't really have the best effect in this game, to be honest. It just took way too long to get any sort of int stacks to really make him into this big powerhouse. I think that is the one downside of a mid-silencer, is that obviously you're not going to be able to get those charges that easily unless you are rotating a lot, but Iceberg did rotate once. I did not see him gank top or bottom a single time that game. And maybe that's what cost him the game. Who knows? I'm not a pro, so I can't say. But even so, I hope you guys enjoyed this game and stick around for game 2. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it, and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.